Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Talk Kashrus, presented by the Kashrus Awareness Project in conjunction with Torah Anytime. Today we are honored to be joined by Rav Moshe Heinemann, Rabbinic Administrator of the Star K in Baltimore and Rav of Agudas Yisroel in Baltimore. Thank you so much to the Rav for taking valuable time to be here today.
My pleasure.
Now, another common scenario or something that people are generally concerned about with domestic help is open bottles of wine. What do people have to know about that?
Okay, so there, with wine, if a akum touches wine, that means he puts his hand into the barrel and actually touches the wine is going to become not kosher unless the wine was cooked before. And so there's some wines are cooked, some wines are not cooked. I was in Yisroel at a wine company, and I said, any wine you send to us in America has to be cooked. The winemaker said, there is no way that I'm going to cook my wine. I said, why? He said, because it loses flavor, which actually is the reason why there is no din of Yayin Akum over here, because it's not, they wouldn't use this. In former times, the idol worshippers used to pour out the wine for their god as a service to their god. But they wouldn't pour out wine which is second-grade wine. Mm-hmm. So that's why it is permitted. So I said, you just have to cook it for 5 seconds, and that's good enough for me. He said, well, 5 seconds, okay. Mm-hmm. Because when you cook it, the alcohol and the aroma of the wine goes out with the steam. Mm-hmm. And that's what they were worried about. I said, for 5 seconds, you know, how much will go out?
So if you have wine in your house that's open and you have domestic help, you should make sure that it's Yayin Mevushal.
You should make sure there's cooked wine, yes.
And grape juice the same?
Same thing, exactly the same thing. It used to be that when you when you had wine or grape juice, if you did not pasteurize it, it would get bad. Mm. So the grape juice would start to ferment, and the wine would start to become vinegar. Today, it doesn't happen anymore. The reason is because they put sulfites in the wine and in the grape juice.
As a preservative.
It's a preservative, doesn't let it become vinegar, so you can keep a bottle of wine for a couple of months. And even not in the refrigerator, nothing will happen to it. Normally, the grapes, the Rabbi Shalom made the grapes, that they're made for wine. How do I know that? The outside of the grape, if you've ever seen, is like cloudy, mm-hmm. and you can actually rub it off with your finger. That is yeast. And when they squeeze out the grapes, they leave the grape skins and the grape meat in the grape juice if you want to make wine, because that yeast will change the sugar into alcohol. So the grapes have a certain amount of sugar in them. In order to make wine, you need some sugar there. It's called brix is the measurement, B-R-I-X. And if they have the right amount of brix, it'll become wine. Then in the air, there are bacteria which will change the alcohol into vinegar. Mm-hmm. So the way they used to stop that was by they used to, if you keep the air out of the wine, you put an airlock on top of the bottle, so then no air can get into it, it will not turn vinegar. But now they have sulfites in all the wines, and will not turn to vinegar. They put metasulfites into the grape juice, and will not get bad for that reason. So you don't have to cook it anymore. So it will say on the bottle, mevushal. Mevushal means it was cooked. And the people who have this problem should make sure that all the wine and grape juice says the word mevushal on the label, and then there's no problem if the guy handles it. Now, if it's not mavushal, then if they take let's say, a bottle of wine or a bottle of grape juice with the cap on, but they didn't open it, then even though they're moving it, as long as you're there, it will not become treif. If you're not there, we're afraid that maybe they opened it and spilled it out. Mm-hmm. But if you're there and you see that they just put it from one place to another, it is no problem as long as it's closed.
That you're there. Do you have to actually see it?
Yeah, you're there and see it. Either you see it with your own eyes, mm-hmm. or you see it on a camera, on a screen. If you can see that they didn't open it, it's okay. If it's open and they moved it, even though they didn't put the hand in the finger, then as soon as the wine starts to shake a little bit, because of the motion of your hand, so then it becomes treif.
Mm-hmm. Now let's say I have an open, non-mavushal bottle of wine or grape juice in my fridge, and I have domestic help coming. Okay. Could I bag it? Could I double wrap it? Is there any way that I could, package it so that I feel that there's enough of a siman to know whether it was tampered with?
Okay, so now if the help has no right to open the refrigerator, you've told them, do not go into my refrigerator, then as long as the someone who's yotze v'nichnas, the someone who could be coming in and out, we don't assume that they did anything. If they do have the right to open the refrigerator, especially if they're taking care of an elderly person, they've got to give them food. Now, the other thing that was a cleaning lady, or a cleaning man, so then they don't have any business opening the refrigerator. But if they do have a right to, so then it's they should put like tape over the top of the cover and the bottle. If they do that two ways, this way and the other way, and it sticks, it's dry and it sticks, and especially if you write something on top of it, like kosher, and you see it intact the way you left mm-hmm. it, so then you could rely on that. You can put it in 2 bags if you want, so that's also good. But otherwise, you should make sure that you don't have any wine around that's not cooked. It should be all cooked. And you can have a camera on the refrigerator, and you can see what the guy, if they're doing anything. And if they didn't open any of the bottles, it's okay.